Hello, my beloved spiritual warriors. I come to you with a message of strength. This video that I am doing is dedicated specifically to healers, mainly all healers. I bring a message of strength to everyone, but specifically to healers, spiritual healers, light workers, shamans, herbalists, mediums, psychics, root workers, Orisha priests, West African traditional practitioners, metaphysical practitioners, sound bowl healers, numerologists, astrologers, and everyone who has been granted the gift to heal, everyone who has been granted the gift to take care of someone, guide them, help them grow, help them evolve, help them become a better human being. This message is for healers. Everyone can benefit from this message at the end of the day, hopefully. But my message tonight is for healers. It's very late night right now. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning, actually, and I haven't gone to bed yet. And I've been sitting by my altar for a while, and I've been getting this message come on. I'm like, I can't wait to the morning to record this message. I'm going to record it now, and then I'll upload it tomorrow. I believe that the time has come. This time period calls for a shift in our approach towards healing. This particular time period that we are all living through right now calls for a shift in our approach towards healing. And hear me out. You might ask why. My answer to that comes from this vision, this intuition, this clairvoyant message that I'm receiving from Spirit, in which Spirit says that many healers have a what could be considered a superficial reach, a superficial approach towards healing. For example, here we have a doctor-to-be who just finished medical school, right? And then in this doctor's internship, they usually start with lots of passion and zest and enthusiasm. And as years go by, as time goes by, as trials and tribulations go by, as up and downs go by in the doctor's life, that particular doctor, for the most part, many of them, not all of them, but a lot of them over time, become very desensitized. They have a very desensitized approach. They become numb, uninvolved. They have a lukewarm type of connection and approach toward their patients. Drained and strained, I say. Drained and strained. Drained and strained. Their energy has been drained, and the vibration that makes them be a caring doctor has been strained out of them. And this is what many healers go through. A lot of healers, they start off with a lot of curiosity and enthusiasm, and they start off really wanting to get to know magic or get to work magic in whichever particular walk of life that you're in, right? And then over a period of time, you see that many healers become so desensitized. They become even cold. They become not interested really from the heart in that client's, in that person's needs and that person's worries and that person's concerns. So I believe in the core of my being that Spirit, that God, the Creator, is calling us as healers to take a different approach towards healing after this corona quarantine period comes to an end, and we go back out into our new normal to take care of people, to attend to people's needs, to hear people's necessities. We must, as healers, step up to the plate. We as healers must have a different approach and a different commitment to this calling that we have been granted by the divine. Clients come and you give them a textbook definition of things. Clients come and there's this bland and monotonous sound of your healing sound bowls. There's this mechanical type of healing. There's this unspirited cleanse that you perform. No true downloads, no divine connection. And guess what? Mechanical approach, mechanics without energy equals wasted time. A mechanical spiritual approach in whichever genre, in whichever walk of life you're in whichever spirit healing spiritual modality you practice, in a mechanical way without energy equates to wasted time, meaning no healing takes place. No healing takes place when a person comes to us and we give him a mechanical approach, an unspirited reading, an unspirited healing, an unspirited care. Because anything that lacks the spirituality in the healing sense, there's no vibration. And if there's no vibration, the message can't elevate. And if the message can elevate, we can download the guidance that that person needs at that particular moment. So we have been called, we are being called as healers. If you are a true healer, not a make-believe healer, not a wannabe healer, not a healer for show. If you are a true healer, you have to step up to the plate and you have to ask yourself, what am I willing? What am I willing to bring to the table as a healer for these clients? What am I willing to bring to the table for these individuals that are in need and they come knocking on your door? They come, knocking on your door for guidance, for help, for light, to see the light in their darkness. What are you willing to bring to the table so that true healing takes place? To be a healer, beloveds, to be a healer, and again, it could be in any spiritual practice, as I said earlier at the beginning of this video. It could be, you are a shaman, or you call yourself an Orisha practitioner, Lukumi or Yoruba traditional. You could be a Reiki master. You could be someone who does energy healing. You could be someone who is a numerologist, an astrologer, whatever it is that you do, that people come knocking on your door, symbolically speaking, to ask for your guidance. To be a healer, you have to bring your soul in. To be a healer, one has to bring our soul into the equation. Even when you're tired, you have to bring your soul in, even if you're tired, even if you're drained, even when you just found out that your boyfriend or your husband or your girlfriend cheated on you, even when you just had a fight with your parent or your child, even when you just got bad news, whichever that bad news is, you have to bring your soul and your heart to place where healing is supposed to go down. Even when you have been, late for 2 months on your rent, even when your car has been repossessed, even if your storages have been lost, even when you feel misunderstood, when you feel misplaced, when you feel overwhelmed, when you feel tired, you have to bring your soul and your heart to the healing place, to the healing environment. Because that is the commitment, that is the sworn commitment that you have made when you decided to be a healer. This is the sworn commitment that you have made when you made the decision to become a healer. Even though no one made you lay a hand in a Bible, in a book, even though you might be practicing a modality that doesn't require an actual initiation, an actual baptism, so to speak, an actual ritual, you have taken an oath to your spirit guides, to the vibrations that you profess, that you are to guide, that you are to heal individuals that come to you. So you've taken this oath to honor it, regardless of what kind of day you're having, regardless if you feel tired, if you feel, that you're having a bad day. But this is another part to this. We are humans. As healers, we're not exempt of real life issues. Us healers are not exempt of going through situations in life. Us healers are not exempt of experiencing the turmoil and the trials and challenges and tribulations of life. We're not exempt because unfortunately, some individual thinks that because you're a healer, you're not supposed to go through trouble. You're not supposed to go through ups and downs. You're not supposed to feel a certain kind of way a particular day. We are humans, but we as healers should know how to handle those days, how to approach those days, how to, heal ourselves, how to elevate our vibration, how to really connect with spirit so that we can flush that uncertainty, flush that low energy, that low vibration out of our energetic field. We have to know how to flush it out. Because if you're the type of healer that does not know how to flush out the negative vibrations that we sometimes as healers pick up, because when you're working with clients, when you're working with people, when you're working with God's children in my religious path, when you're working with people that are in need, you pick up stuff. You pick up people's negative energies and negative vibrations, and you pick up so much in the universe. You pick up so much when we walk out the door because there's a magnetism, there's an energetic magnet that attracts certain vibrations because spirits, that are out there, energies that are out there, they know when you are a healer and they'll come and they'll try to lash onto you. But as the healer, you're supposed to know how to cleanse yourself, how to heal certain aspects of yourself, how to really uplift your vibration when it's at its lowest. But if you're the type of healer that you're always are doing worse than your clients, if you're the type of healer, if you're the type, and by now I'm using the word healer in a very broad context, I'm using the word healer to incorporate all walks of life, all modalities, regardless of what your faith is. But if you're a healer in your particular faith and you're always doing worse, you're always worse off than your clients, you're always worse off than your God's children, you're always worse off than the people that are coming knocking on your door for help and guidance, you need to start questioning what's going on. You need to start questioning yourself as to what it is that you're doing that's contributing to that particular state that you're in, that particular state that you're stuck in. You have to question it. You just can't take it just because and just decide to sign off on it because you're a healer. So that's for, that's the healer. That's the life of the healer. You're supposed to struggle. That's the life of the healer. You're supposed to be doing bad. That's the life of the healer. You're a receptor of picking up stuff, and that's why bad things are happening to you. No. I beg to differ in that opinion, which I've heard many times. I've heard many healers, good healers actually, believe that this is just the way it is. No, it is not. No, it is not. No, it is not. There's something going on. There's something off. There's something out of alignment that is not allowing you to be at a normal state, at a real normal state. So to be a healer, you have to question yourself when things are consistently, overly going bad in your life. As a healer, you have to question your spirituality. You have to question your commitment. You have to question your energy. You have to question your vibration. You have to question what it is that's off and how can we fix it, because we can't just leave it the way it is. You just can't leave it the way it is. So therefore, as a healer, if things are continuously over and over again going bad, or from bad to worse, you have to question, who have you failed to truly represent? You have to question as a healer, what's happening to you. You have to question yourself as to the things that are occurring to you and why they are occurring to you. Where is it coming from? What are you not representing? What are you failing to see? What energetic walls have you left unguarded? Okay, hear me out. What energetic walls have you left unguarded for lower level vibrations to come in and wreak havoc in your life? What are you being irresponsible or insensitive about that you're picking up so much consistently and you're not getting out of your hole? What are you acting carelessly with? Or who are you acting carelessly towards? It could be your own clients for all we know, right? What part of your faith has been shaken? Hear me out, as Spirit is giving this to me. What part of your faith has been shaken? But, what part of your faith has been shaken and not restored? And then yet you're there attempting to heal someone else. Our faith as healers, don't get me wrong, because people are going to start criticizing me for this. But let me tell you something. As healers, we are not exempt of having days where our faith gets shaken. Sometimes our faith can get shaken. I've never lost my faith. It could be shaken. It could be under attack, but it's never been lost. So we as healers, as human beings that we are, yes, our faith can be shaken. But when our faith is shaken, we as healers have to be able to restore it. We have to be able to restore our faith so that we can better represent, so that we can better serve, so we can better be the truest representation of Spirit. Because when it comes to healing people, when it comes to being a healer and guiding individuals into their healing journey, it can be tiring. It could be overwhelming. It could really suck us dry. It could really put us in situations that sometimes we don't even understand why. Why this is happening to me? Why am I going through this situation? Because us healers, we have real hard life lessons to learn. We really have real difficult, hard life lessons to learn. And it's sometimes, at least it's happened to me, sometimes it's via our own clients. Or in my case, in my religious journey, sometimes it's via my own godchildren that I get to see what lesson they are going through. That's as much for them as it is for me. So therefore, we have to be able to know when to take breaks. We have to know when to give ourselves time to regroup, to build our energies back up, to heal or uplift our energetic vibration, to go through a particular cleanse or healing ourselves, not necessarily done by ourselves, but we might have to go to our godparent or our own healer to be able to help us recalibrate so that we can go back to this calling, go back to this spiritual journey, go back to this devotion, go back to this divine calling that has been entrusted to us. But we have to know when to take a step back so that we can replenish and charge our own battery. Because if not, what happens? We become that doctor that over the years has become numb. We become that doctor that over the years don't care much anymore, because it's seen that this doctor has seen this situation that he is there to cure so many times over and over and over and over and over again, that now he or she is numb. They don't feel that passion to really help that patient, to really save that patient. There's a difference between, hear me out, there's a difference between a doctor who goes out and has to inform family members that their loved one has passed away. There's a difference between the newbie, the new doctor that has to give that message, versus the one that has been doing it for 20 years. There's a difference. There comes a point where we see the doctors, after 20 years, they just come out of that room They just come out of those double doors, and they come out and say, "Sorry to inform you, your family member has just passed away. We lost such and such." And they say sorry, and they turn their back, and they keep walking. I believe, maybe I'm wrong, but I believe that as a healer, I don't know about doctors, I don't know about surgeons, I don't know about other individuals in other professions, but as a healer, as a spiritual healer, as a practitioner of Orisha faith, I don't believe that we have that luxury. I don't call it a luxury, actually. It's not even a luxury, in my opinion. I don't think that we have that right to become so numb that people come to us and we now, like, we go through the mechanics of things, but our heart and our spirit is not really present in the ritual, is not really present in that sacred room, is not really present in that reading room, is not really present in that healing room. We don't have that right, because that person that's there needing that healing, needing that guidance, needing that reading, might be hanging by a thread. That individual might be hanging by a thread, and it is up to you and I to make a difference in that individual's life, so that, number one, I can only talk about me. And I've had countless of times, more than I choose to remember, that I've had people who have come to me, and thanks to Spirit, not me. I don't let that fill up my head. I'm only a vessel. But thanks to Spirit and what Spirit has entrusted in me, I have been able to make the difference. Whether or not that person goes back home and blows his or her brain out, I have been able to make the difference between that person going out and killing somebody, or doing something that they would have regretted their whole entire life and would have trickled down to their children, would have affected their significant other or their parents, etc., etc. So as a healer, we have a major responsibility, just as much as a surgeon inside an operating room. That is my belief. So I believe that at this time and moment, the Creator, at this precise time and moment, whatever it is that you energetically, spiritually, and religiously believe in, is calling healers to step up to the plate. They're calling healers to take on new vows, okay? To renew our vows as to what it is that we are doing on this earth as healers. Because, my friends, my beloved spiritual warriors, what we are about to face, what we are about to encounter out there, when things go not back to normal, but when things go to its new normal, what we're about to encounter out there is going to be tough. It's going to be overwhelming. It's going to be really difficult to deal with mentally, spiritually, energetically. So we have to have a strong backbone and really be willing to honor our calling. If indeed you are a true healer, if indeed you are a true shaman, if indeed you are a true spiritist, if indeed you are a true medium, if truly you are a real clairvoyant healer, if you're truly an astrologer, if you're truly a numerologist, if you're truly someone who has been called on this earth to be an Orisha priest, an Orisha practitioner, you have a big duty. You have a big responsibility in your hand, moving on forward after this coronavirus tragedy. So this message is for healers. This message is for healers to be able to step up, because let me tell you, I say this with the most sincere heart. Spirit, God, the Creator, Olofin, Olorun, Olodumare, Ensambi, Elohim, Allah, Joshua, the Almighty Buddha, Brahma, and Kisi, whatever it is that you call your God in your walk of life, in your spiritual path, is expecting us healers to truly renew our vows and step up to the plate, to be responsible with our spiritual religious gifts, to bring the heart in, to bring the heart in, to bring the heart in, to guard our, listen, hear me out. We have to be able to guard our empathic heart. We have to be able to guard our empathic spirit from lower level contamination, but we have to allow care to show up. We have to allow genuine concern to show up. We have to allow integrity to show up. We have to allow consistency and respect to show up. We have to allow our heart to show up. We have to allow our heart to show up. A healer's work cannot be a hobby. A healer's work, cannot be so-called an easy way out because that's a good way to just make money, and people like going to healers and psychics and mediums and Reiki masters and what have you. No. You're in the wrong walk of life if this is just something that has become easy for you to do, because there's nothing easy about being a healer. There's nothing easy about being an Oloricha and Omoricha and Orisha practitioner. There's nothing easy about being a medium and clairvoyant. There's nothing easy about being a healer in all the sense of the word. So it can't be just for show. It has to be because we are willing to honor our spiritual oath, because that's what I call it. We have to be able and willing to honor our spiritual oath, regardless of what it is that our life is going through. We also have to be able to balance things. When we're going through a lot, we should be able to know what to do to bring ourselves back to a level of normalcy. But we have to still honor our calling, because if we were truly called to be healers, no one can take that away from us. No one can substitute it. No one can tell us that we should just opt to do something else. This has been already designed. This has already been assigned. We have already made this choice at the time of our birth. We didn't make this choice as an adult. We didn't make this choice at 7 years old or 9 years old. We think we did. I started in this path, when I was 7. But in reality, we had already chosen this path. This is before we were born. So in order to be a healer, you have to be able to honor and know what comes with the territory of being a healer. So at the end of your day, at the end of the day, as a spiritual healers, you have to acknowledge and know and be aware that you have somebody to answer to. You have somebody to answer for your careless mistakes. You have somebody to answer to when you just going to do the sound bowl healings just for the hell of it, and you just hitting the balls and making the sounds, but you didn't invite your heart, you didn't invite your soul to that healing that can make a difference in that person's life that's actually there taking your class. You didn't invite your soul and your heart to that reading so that true divine guidance can be downloaded to help that person that's in need, that feels the rope so tight around their neck that they're going crazy. You have somebody to answer to. You have to answer to your ancestors. You have to answer to your spirit guides. You have to answer to your Orisha or to Engu or to Nkisi or to the Creator. But you have someone to answer to. And you also have to answer to that individual spirit guides, guardian angel, or whatever walks with that individual, whatever protects that individual. Because that person's spirits, that person's spirituality guided them to you. That person might have called you and they thought they made that choice to come see you, to come read with you, to come heal with you. But it was actually their spirit guide who made it possible for you to be the one to guide them, to help them, to give them some answers to their agonizing state of mind, to the agonizing state of being and feeling. So you have to answer to your own spirituality as a healer. That certainly goes for us true healers, not the fake ones and the make-believe. But you also have to answer to that person's spirituality too. Because you can make the difference whether or not that person decides to give up on themselves. You can make the difference between whether or not that individual decides to, get a divorce. They don't have to be so dramatic about killing themselves. But what about how many individuals come because they're uncertain about their marriage? They're uncertain about the person that they are in love with. And you can make the difference whether or not they get a divorce. A divorce may not sound as much to you when you just hear the word divorce, especially in this day and age, right? But it does make a difference when that child that marriage has is affected by their parents' decisions. And you as a healer can make a difference as to how they can navigate through this process. If it's meant to be, it's going to happen. But if it's not meant to be, just hear me out. If two individuals are not meant to get divorced, and maybe what they truly need is to work through their issues, through their problems, and deal with deep-rooted situations that's hidden. If you're not a true healer, or if that day you decided not to bring your heart and your soul into that reading, you can mislead and misguide that individual because true downloads are not coming through. True divine guidance are not flowing through your energy field, and you're misguiding that individual, and they go and they have a divorce. Maybe had you truly been connected to the divine energies, maybe all they had to do is go to counseling and deal with deep-rooted situations, or their inner child that has been unattended, and so many other different situations that can go on. And that's just one scenario out of hundreds of different scenarios. So therefore, as a healer, you have a big responsibility. So my beloved spiritual warriors, you may not be questioned immediately by spirit. You may not be questioned immediately by the creator. You may not be questioned immediately by whatever energies you profess. But trust me, they will come knocking one day. Sometimes you get the bill immediately, and you get your cord pulled. But sometimes it takes a long time, and your wrongdoings, your misrepresentation, your ignorance, sometimes it's ignorance, and your unwillingness to really represent spirit, sometimes you get the big bill later on. It's a big bill and you can't pay for it. You have to pay for those mistakes. You have to pay for all those lives that you failed to make a positive impact in. You have to answer to those. And sometimes you get the bill right there and then. And sometimes you get a racked up bill. I call it the spiritual IRS comes to collect. When the spiritual IRS comes to collect, you gotta pay. You gotta pay. So, to end this video, I make a call. I make a call for healers' integrity around the world. Universal healers around the globe. I make a call. I make a call for healers' integrity. I make a call for a healer's commitment to their spiritual oath. I make a call for a spiritual dedication. I make a call for a spiritual healer's consistency. I make a call for a spiritual healer's heart, for a healer's morale, for a healer's respect, for a healer's loyalty, for a healer's honor, for a healer's truth. I make a call for a healer's deliverance, so that you may be delivered from all that's afflicting you, so that you may be delivered from all that is affecting you in your heart. Because sometimes, don't get me wrong, and I hope you did not misunderstood this video. It's not that you are a bad person. Sometimes you just are truly going through life issues. We all go through life issues. Don't let me start telling you my stories. We as healers go through life issues sometimes 10 times harder. Sometimes even 10 times harder. Trust and believe. But as a spiritual healer, I pray that Spirit, God, whatever it is that you believe in, that divine essence, that divine creator, delivers you from all evil, delivers you from all that you can seem to control, delivers you from your weakness, delivers you from all that is agonizing your life, delivers all that's trying to contaminate your spiritual energies, your spirituality, your vibration, your ability to really represent as a spiritual healer, your ability to truly represent your divine essence. I ask the Creator to deliver you from all that's holding you back, from truly honoring and respecting and showing up in the name of that vow, in the name of that spiritual commitment, that spiritual vow that you took and you promised to represent. When you have a human being sitting in front of you in need of guidance, that is such a big responsibility. So we must honor it and just show up. We must honor it with our own life. We must honor it with integrity. We must honor it with devotion, with heart, with respect, with loyalty, commitment. We must honor it. So my beloved spiritual warriors, for those of you that are healers, or for those of you that are thinking of becoming one, or feel that you were born to be a healer, I hope that this makes sense to you. I hope that this reaches your heart. I hope that it really sits in the foundation and the essence of your soul. Because to be a healer, it takes all this and 10 times more. It takes all this and 10 times more. May you have a blessed week. May you have a blessed day. May your loved ones be blessed. May you be blessed. Like this video, leave a comment, share it, and hope to hear from you soon. Many blessings to you.